I think alam naman niya through poll, no? I think, and in fairness naman to the president, he is extending and Senator Imee, they are extending as much effort as possible to help the creative economies. Hindi lang naman pelikula nagsa-suffer eh. Nowadays, pati TV, okay, and all the arts for that matter. Okay, stretch down. Okay, here are the FDCP coming projects. Okay, before I proceed with this, no, I'd like to give first a short review of the things that we have been doing since the previous time that we had our press conference. Marami na kami nasagawa. Ang naisagawa namin ay still faithful to the thrust of FDCP sa administrasyon na ito. Yan ay ang edukasyon, professionalization, and globalization. Okay, unang-una, yung sa edukasyon, as later on, Rica will explain, ang dami-dami naming training programs, mainly because the FDCP now is dedicating our efforts for the next generation of Filipino filmmakers. I think the continuity of this tradition of Philippine cinema can only be enhanced if we give proper premium and opportunities for the young filmmakers, not only in Metro Manila, but in all over the archipelago. Secondly, we also want to bring professionalization, because we have a lot of training programs too for practicing professionals and those who really want to go into the industry. And thirdly, globalization, which I will explain in a bit. So first, that is SINE 50. Alam naman natin na isa sa pinakamalaking problema natin ngayon is paano natin mapapabalik ang mga manonood sa sinihan. Okay? Itong problemang ito ay hindi lamang limitado dito sa Pilipinas, kundi worldwide. Ilan lamang mga bansa sa ating, ilan lamang bayan, only a few countries all over the world have already been able to attract their people to go back to movie houses. Dito sa Pilipinas, malala. Okay, malala. Maski ang mga Hollywood movies hindi na pinapanood na ganon unless talaga major franchise movies ang mga pinapanood, dinudungog. Kung ganyan ang kaso, lalo na naman ang Filipino movies. Mula na nagbukas sa mga sinihan, siguro mabibilang natin sa isang kamay kung ilan ang mga Filipino movies na kumita. Okay? Sa katotohanan, ang mga blockbusters, 2 lang since nagbukas ang mga sinihan. At ang sa kakalungkot ay dahil sa dahilang ito, ang mga sinihan mismo ang nagsasara. Ang mga sinihan ay nire-repurpose for other reasons. And we don't want that to happen. Because if that happens, the whole tradition of Philippine cinema will also die. The hope depends on the next generation, kaya meron kaming training na ganyan. Pero, may gagawin kami itong SINE 50. Ano yung SINE 50? Yung mga ilang pelikula na pag-aari na ng FDCP o nakuha namin ng mga rights, ipapalabas namin sa mga sinihan sa madugong halagang 50 pesos. Okay? We're trying to bring back, these quality films for not only for cineasts but also for the popular audiences, for them to go back to the movie house and pay 50 pesos only. Okay? Ang karamihan dito ay mga pelikula na na-acquire namin para doon sa mga cineasts, mga mahilig talaga sa pelikula at ilan with popular taste. Okay? Yan ang SINE 50. Okay? Ang ikalawa ay yung FDCP brings world cinema to the Philippines. Kagagaling lang po namin sa dalawang festivals, namely Berlin and then to Cannes for the market section. Pero isinama namin, okay, ang aming mga acquisitions people para tignan yung mga pelikula sa Cannes, lalo-lalo na sa Cannes. Alam namin nandoon din ang ilang Filipino na nakabili ng pelikula. Sina Sylvia Sanchez nakabili rin ng mga pelikula na ang binili nila ay hindi mga puchi-puchi na mga pelikula, kundi magagandang pelikula rin. Ang FDCP naman, we are in the process of finalizing the acquisition of the winner of the Palme d'Or, which is Anatomy of the Fall. Okay? And 2 other films, How to Have Sex, and then we don't know yet what is the other one, right? Okay, so 3 pelikula in-acquire namin at ito ay ipapalabas namin sa publiko. Okay? We have a distributor here, and then eventually, after the public exhibition, papalabas namin sa mga Cinematheque. So, okay, in other words, dinadala namin yung mga world-class movies para ma-expose ang ating audiences kung ano ang mga developments sa world cinema dito sa atin. These are not the usual movies which are brought in by our distributors. Ito yung mga talagang niche movies na gusto namin i-provide Hindi lamang sa ilan na mahilig talaga sa pelikula, kundi sa buong publiko mismo. Okay? And in the same process, we are hoping that we can also create world-class cinema. Alam mo Marinel, ang problema hindi lang naman sa amin, ang problema din ng producer at hindi natin masisisi sila. Hindi sila magsusunog ng pera kung alam nilang malulugi sila. So kailangan i-encourage natin sila at bigyan natin ng incentives ang producers na muling mag-produce ng mga movies na hindi lamang for box office purposes, kundi yung ipagmamalaki natin sa buong mundo. Lagi ko nga sinasabi, Jerry, is pointless yung pagpunta namin ng mga film festival kung wala tayong maipakikita sa mundo. Okay? Gumagasta ang gobyerno, hindi naman para mag-junket kayo. Hindi ba? At saka, abunado pa kami ni Jerry. Ano kami. So sabi namin, kailangan meron tayong maipalabas. Kailangan may palabas, kaya kailangan mabigyan ng incentives ang mga local producers to come up with world-class cinema. Next slide, please. Ano pa? Okay. Kalimutan ko nga pala, meron palang restoration. Buti binilang na. Ano? Yung... may Omni-Video daw, yung mga FDCP na na-acquire natin mga movies. Okay, pakita. Ito yung mga na-acquire namin para yung mga classic Filipino films. Alam naman natin na dito sa ating bansa, wala talagang proper archiving ng mga pelikula. Okay, and we are trying to save as many films as possible by restoring them and digitizing them and making them again available. Right now, we are working on, may good news nga pala ako sa FDCP. Just this afternoon, pumayag na ang legal for the restoration of Sister Stella L. and Relasyon. Okay? Mike De Leon and Mike De Leon, Sister Stella L. and Relasyon. Pero humahanap pa kami ng ibang mga pelikula na pwede namin ma-restore para hindi ito completely mawala. Because you would be surprised how many movies are already gone because they were not properly handled in the past. So we're trying to keep up to pace with all this. Okay, next is the FDCP Film School, the Vice Chairman. Ako ba magpapaliwanag ito o ikaw? Ako na, okay. May acting workshop kami, pero this is handled by Angeli Bayani and certified Meissner school instructors. Okay, these are for working actors. Okay, and this is for free. Okay, this is for free. Sila Angeli will inopen namin ang application from working actors, and then from the working actors, pumili sila, i-audition sila kung sino ang makakapasok doon sa training program na ito. Open ito sa lahat. Okay? And pag napili ka, it is for free. Okay? May isa pa kami, may junior version naman na susunod din, but this time it's for students, an acting course for students. Okay? It's a long-term workshop also for students. And again, my God, it's for free. Okay? Again, i-audition yung mga bata na mag-a-apply at sila yung alam mo Jerry, ang gusto namin inculcate sa mga batang artista, acting is an art and a craft, and you don't become an actor to be a celebrity. Being a celebrity is only a fringe benefit, but what is important is to take the craft seriously, because it is those who take the craft seriously who last the longest. Okay? It's not enough that you become a sensation, but what is important is you give a certain degree of artistic contribution. Okay? Sige, go.
Okay, Meissner will start on July 10. So sila, Miss Angeline, yung kumuha sila ng mga participants and then kakatapos na ng mga interviews. So, ilalabas pa lang yung final list, pero yung mga nag-apply galing sa original Miss Saigon, sa UK, or yung iba, mga artista na gumagawa ng series sa Pilipinas. So, iba-ibang klaseng actors yung kasali.
Okay. Tapos, ano itong video production sa iyo yan? Okay, go.
Okay, so, nagtatayap din kami with different government agencies kasi kailangan nila ng help in video production. So, with the OST, Department of Science and Technology, so may schedule for them. And then, cinematography workshop, in coordination with the Moyle Fund Film Institute, starting in September. And then we also wanted to reach out to schools outside Metro Manila. So yung sa Subic and Olongapo, Pampanga students, magkakaroon kami ng workshop in October. And then the basic acting workshop, this one naman headed by Rolly Inocencio.
Rolly Inocencio. Saka hopefully, lalo-lalo na itong workshop na gagawin ni Rolly Inocencio for young people, hopefully mailipot namin ito sa buong bansa. Nagagawin din ito sa mga Cinematheque centers para hindi lamang yung mga estudyante at mga batang gusto mag-artista o gustong mahasa ang kanilang acting talents, hindi lamang yung mga taga Maynila, kundi all the way down to Mindanao. Okay? Isa pa yun na thrust ng FDCP is to decentralize our training throughout the entire country and not only center it in Metro Manila. Alright? Meron pa ba? Next slide. Okay. This is the Academic Film Society. Kwento mo nga yan.
Okay, so ang trust kasi ni Chair Pip talaga is education. So all year round, meron kaming, for this program, bago pa lang, no, Academic Film Society, all the film schools, film clubs, ginagather yan to form a group to help them, no? We will bring in workshops, ganyan. We had over 30 schools na yung sumali sa amin. And one positive prize nila is tutulong ang FDCP in giving assistance, financial, no, between 30 to 50,000 sa mga thesis films nila. Okay, so for cycle 1, we have, ito yung mga following thesis films, no, from UP Diliman, De La Salle College of St. Benilde, next slide please. Academy, University of Philippines Mindanao, and DLSU. So, all over. So, right now, tumatanggap pa rin kami ng mga memberships nationwide. So, dumadami na sila. We will have our cycle 2 na deadline. We will give another round of grants, no? Yun din. Maximum is 50,000 pesos for the thesis films.
So makikita no na talagang emphasis ng FDCP ngayon is to help the kids and to help prepare the next generation of Filipino filmmakers. Yung 30 to 50,000 na yun really means a lot. Okay, if you're a student doing your capstone or your thesis film, so hopefully this would, this would facilitate and this would help improve the quality of their capstone projects upon presentation for their baccalaureate degrees. Okay, then there is the International Film Studies Assistance or IFSA. Ikaw nga yan, Rica, ulit.
Okay, so since early this year, we granted 28 financial assistance and visa assistance to filmmakers, producers, etc. No, na nag-attend ng mga film labs abroad. Okay, and workshops. Okay, so yung mga succeeding labs and workshops na pupuntahan nila would be in Switzerland, US, Greece, and Korea. Yun. So, mga screenwriters, filmmakers, producers. Last can, we brought in Benedict Mike and Lino Cayetano sa Cannes Producers Network. So, nagkaroon sila ng producers training doon, and then they attended yung different screenings and conferences.
Basically also for networking purposes. Okay? Alright, next slide. FDCP in Cinemalaya and FDCP in international production. Okay, FDCP muna in Cinemalaya. Na since last year, na pagkaisahan na yung FDCP will help in the production of the 10 finalists ng Cinemalaya for the following year. Pag napili kang finalist ng Cinemalaya, bibigyan ka ng 1 million ng Cinemalaya Foundation, and FDCP will give its counterpart of another 1 million. So, pag napili kang finalist, automatically may 2 million ka na as seed money for your production. And that really, really helps a lot. Ito maganda, Lar. Pag short filmmaker ka, nag-submit ka ng tapos ng project at napili ka, my gula, you get 100,000. Okay? So in other words, yung ginasta mo dun sa paggawa ng pelikula mo, parang nabawi mo na rin. And these are for the short filmmakers. They're usually 10, okay, of each, no? 10 of each yung bibigyan ng 100,000 na 10 short filmmakers at saka 1 million yung 10 finalists. But I think, okay, what is important this year, the Film Industry Conference, this is really important na, which is usually mounted by the FDCP, will be held with the Cinemalaya. This is a 2 to 3 day conference in which we will discuss local industry problems. Okay, and it's an open venue for both students and professionals through a series of panel discussions, which will be hybrid. May hybrid ang modality.
PICC.
At the PICC kasi doon gagawin ang Cinemalaya sa PICC. So may counterpart din kasi yan, ano? Okay, before we go into international engagements, yung FDCP in Q Cinema naman. Kung sa IFIC naman yon, okay? In other words, kung sa Cinemalaya yung Film Industry Conference, the International Film Industry Conference will be held with Q Cinema. Because Q Cinema is an international film festival. Okay, so dito naman we're bringing in people from all over the region, which I'll explain later on. Okay, kung doon i-discuss naman ang mga international problems ng cinema and how the Philippines will play an important role in the creation of the cinema block of the region. Alright? Then there is the international participation and engagements. Okay, I'll start with the Toronto International Film Festival. Naalala mo, Alan, that once upon a time, napaka-active ng Philippines sa Toronto International Film Fest. Yung mga kapanahonan nila Carlitos, nila Joel, ang mga nagchito, biglang nawala eh. Diba? Biglang nawala. Gusto namin i-open uli ang doors, okay, ng Filipino filmmakers sa TIFF, sa Toronto International Film Fest. So, may tatlo kami na pupunta this coming September, okay, sa Toronto, just to open again the opportunity of Filipino filmmakers to show in Toronto. Toronto is important because it's the gateway to North American distribution. Okay, so, babalikan namin yan. Ito na yung maganda rin, no? Ito siguro ang pinakamasaya na naganap, okay, since then, no? It all started in Berlin nung kinausap kami ng head ng Korean Film Council, ng COFIC. At sinabi na may plano sila to come up with an alliance of Asian film councils to create the Asian film bloc. And now, what is the reason behind this? Apparently, Asia is the biggest consumer of content. Okay, Asia is the biggest consumer of content. Why can't we be also the biggest creator of content? Okay? And the reason why is that we always look at the West as our standard and model. So, nagkasama-sama ang mga nations and sabi, okay, when we meet in Cannes, let's formalize this. Okay? Ang ganda nito, may mga in-invite kaming nations na, okay, may invite natin kapag isipan namin. Para noong na-seal yung Asian Film Alliance Network or AFAN, doon ngayon na-express na rin ang interest yung ibang nations na medyo hesitant before. The Philippines is one of the founding members of the AFAN. As a matter of fact, sa Cinemalaya, AFAN will have its first activity of showing the best short films of the member nations in a single program. Okay? Who are the members of AFAN? Dan, pakisabi mo lang kung ano may visa. Okay, the Philippines, Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Mongolia. Okay? May plano na rin pumasok ang Japan at pumasok ang Vietnam. And from our latest correspondence, gusto na rin pumasok ng India. Okay? So, when you have this block, it's really important that certain policies, okay, will be made in order to protect the film industries of this region. Ang isa pa rin maganda na na-realize namin is, we don't watch their films because we don't know them. Di ba? We don't have access to their films. So with the AFAN, we can be able to watch more, kasi, well, Korean movies, right? Hallyu is in our blood, right? But wouldn't it be interesting to find out the kind of films being done in Mongolia, okay, or in Indonesia, or in Malaysia? Because if we get to know each other better, then we can appreciate each other's cinema. Then we can come up with various co-productions, which are really and truly Asian. Okay? Pag sinabi mo kasing Asian, parang hindi ba generic tayo, parang generic. But you know, we are the same in as much as we are unique, and we want to emphasize that in the cinema of the AFAN members. All right? Next slide. There's also the Philippine Film Industry Month. Okay, September is the Philippine Film Industry Month. Last year, ang team natin is manood tuloy ang pelikula, tuloy ang kwento. Now, let's go back to movies. This year, we're going to give tribute to Philippine comedians. Okay, and this year, we're giving the highest tribute to Dolphy. Okay, we are celebrating the various film comedians. And we're gonna have, talks and all that as early as giving respect to Pugo, Tugo, remember, Chichay, Aruray, Cynthia Patag, okay, all these people who used to be the comedic benches before, okay? But more so, we're going to, put them to the forefront. Like, I mean, how can you discuss Philippine comedy now without mentioning Vice Ganda, Eugene Domingo, Ay de las Alas, and the likes? So we're going to have a whole month celebrating Philippine comedy. Ang tawag namin ay Sile Halakhak, okay? Okay, it's a tribute to Philippine comedy. There's a Cinetawa. Ano yung Cinetawa? Kasi naging successful to nung last February. Nag-free screening kami sa Luneta. Okay? Nung love team. Okay? Nila Marvin, di ba? At na-appreciate ng mga tao sa Luneta. Ngayon, we're going to have a screening of 2 movies in Luneta for free. Open to the people, open to the public for free. Pina-finalize namin yung mga film. Meron kaming inaambisyon na 2 film, a Eugene Domingo and an Ay de las Alas films, okay, to be shown there for free. Then we have the screening tribute to the King of Philippine Comedy, okay, which is on the final night, on the closing night, we are giving a tribute to Dolphy, who should have been a national artist noong pa, okay. And then, Sinang Kabataan Short Film Lab and Festival. Kwentuhan mo nga sila tungkol dyan.
Okay, so nationwide, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, binibigyan namin ng grants, 100,000 pesos, no? Yung mga filmmakers to do their short film, and then, tinatrain din sila, no? Meron silang lab before shooting. So, this is the 6th year na. So, mga young filmmakers to.
Okay. Yung mga to be announced, marami pa kaming plano for this year. Another one that we are planning is a writing workshop naman. A conceptualization and writing workshop, both for professionals as well as for upstarts. Okay? Next slide. Tapos na ba? Okay, tapos na. Okay?
There you go.
Tito
Palakpakan
Jen.
naman natin si Direk Joey and si Miss Rica Arevalo. We can move on to the question and answer portion. So, anyone?
Okay. Kung meron kayong katanungan, okay, magtanong kayo.
Clarification lang. Nabigay na yung 1 million grant sa Cinemalaya for this year, yung entries ngayon? Or for next year pa yun?
Yung for this year, nabigay na. For next year, magpipirmahan na lang sila ng MOA, tapos bibigay na sa kanila yon.
I see. At yung sa short films na
Yung short films, yung last year nabigay na yon, yung tagwa 100,000 nila. This year, pagka-announce muna kasi di ba
Na-announce na yun?
Hindi, yung formal
Yung for
announcement.
next year.
Okay, sige.
Direct yung Manila Film Festival this year, they tapped yung mga students to direct films. In fact, 5 movies na nasa Film Fest, estudyante yung nag-direct, is FDCP helping them.
No, this was, they did not broach us for that. Yeah, it's a project purely of the city of Manila.
Pero will FDCP be willing to give a helping hand if ever they are asked?
Bakit hindi? I mean, if it involves kids and it involves cinema, why not?
Hi po, Gihiho Krishna po from TV Patrol. I guess we also want to know, bakit po ba mahalaga na maipalabas po natin ito at malaman ng mga tao na meron tayong pelikula?
Pelikulaya.
You want me to
Why is
answer
there a
that?
need po na...
Well, hindi naman sa nakikisakay tayo sa world trend, no, and that we are obsessed with the proper use of pronouns, di ba? It goes beyond that. I think I'll give 3 reasons. One is that I don't think the LGBTQ community is no longer what you would call marginalized, because they're very much visible, but they have to be recognized. Okay, I think the recognition comes not only from how we treat them in real life, but also in the various expressions of art in which they are represented. Secondly, the whole LGBTQ process is also maturing, okay, and evolving, and we need to capture that. And thirdly, ito naman personal ko lang, in our country, the LGBTQ is tolerated. And there is a big difference between tolerance and acceptance. Okay, we have to learn to eventually move towards acceptance rather than mere tolerance. And that is why all the talks prepared by my friend here said is all about representation, because the personification of the LGBTQ character has to evolve from much more than being the village idiot or the village clown. He has to be seen as a human being capable of emotion and utmost seriousness. Maganda kasi Iha is kapag if it's a Roderick Paulate character na humahagal pa ka ng tawa kapag lumalabas siya, tanggap natin siya. But oras na naging seryoso yung character na may damdamin at nasasaktan, naiilang ang tao. Dapat yun ang maunawaan natin yung mundong yun rather than merely look at it for amusement.
Thank you for that. Yes.
Clarification ulit, malaki ba ang talent ni Angeli Bayani para sa workshop, sa acting workshop?
Hindi. Barat ako. Barat kami.
Sila talaga yung Meister teacher. So, hindi, kahit sino hindi pwede magturo, sila lang. So, may certificate sila.
May approval pa yan from LA.
Ah.
Kasi it has to be an approval from the Meissner
School.
School in LA. And ilan lang yung mga teacher talaga na trained. Tatlo lang na Philippine teachers ang recognized.
Anong pagkakaiba nung Meissner and Derek Morris?
Ay naku, iba-iba yan. Iba-iba yan. Ang maganda kasi sa Meissner is iba rin ang si Chubak. Chubak comes closer to Eric Morris than Meissner. Kasi sa Meissner, pabobo ka, hindi ka papasa. Because doon nag-iisip ka.
For film and TV actors.
For film and TV actors. Kasi dito, sa Meissner, no two takes must be the same. Okay? And so far, alam mo, Lars, sa lahat ng artista na nakatrabaho ko, siguro 2 lang ang ganun. Na kapag iba ang take, ibang atake, pero hanip, alam mo, nag-iisip siya.
Sino yan ka rin?
Names po.
O isa, si Judy Ann.
Ay.
Yung pag 2 take mo, may pagkakaiba kasi alam niya, iniisip niya at fresh lagi. Hindi yung naka-autopilot. Pag nag-teleserye ka kasi, you have a tendency to go into autopilot acting Siyempre naman kung alas 5:30 na ng umaga, paiiyakin ka, hindi ba naka-autopilot ka na at isang boteng Vicks, hindi ba? Sa mata mo. Hindi ba? But iba yung alam mo yung you need a thinking out of it. And I've read a lot about Meissner. I've seen the YouTubes of Meissner. And eventually, hindi ba, Rica, kung matuloy ang plans, magkakaroon ng workshop, the director and actor in the Meissner method. How do you direct and how the actor yung relasyon ng director. Hindi ba yung iba yung director nung gagawin ko, kailangan yung director, kailangan alam din paano ma-motivate yung artista niya. So eventually, pupunta kami doon.
Ayaw mong sabihin yung isa pang artista, di ba?
Talaga?
Tinatanong ko lang kung hindi ko naman sinasabi kung sino.
Janice
Kung ayaw
Duran.
mong-
At I think ang proof niyan is yung longevity ng kanilang development as actresses from child actresses.
Yeah.
It matters a lot It matters a lot. Hindi mo naman na-achieve ang refinery and sophistication of acting through the number of workshops you attend Di ba?
Direct dun sa Sine 50, ano-anong movies? Ilang movies yon?
Sino ba may alam ka alam doon? Sino ba may Homer, would you know? Would you know? Ba't kayo nagtuturoan? Sino? Meron na ba tayong line-up for Sine 50? Okay. May 6 films sa Sine 50. I'll give you the local films daw. Ano yun?
Respeto tsaka John Denver 20 po so far.
Respeto and then
And on the job.
And on the job.
Saan-saan? Saan-saan?
Yan ang inaayos pa namin. Kasi baka kausapin pa namin ng SEAP kung alin yung mga movie houses na ipapahiram nila, ipapayag sila na ano. Kasi, well, one thing is we're really trying to develop a very cordial relationship with the theater owners because we need them for projects like this. Okay? Na 50 pesos. On the job, John Denver Trending and Respeto. Okay?
Dari kayo ipapalabas yung Anatomy of a Fall tsaka How to Have Sex. Mauna ba kayo sa Q Cinema?
Hindi, because most likely pahiram muna namin sa Q Cinema yan. Pina-finalize pa.
Ano mo lang, follow up lang, tungkol sa distribution of the cinema. Paano po yung ginagawa? At saka paano nagkakaroon ng returns ng FDCP? Kasi di ba ina-acquire niyo yung rights? Tapos, Yun. Paano tayo nagbe-benefit doon, direct?
Ikaw na sumagot, may nabulong ka ng bulong sa akin. No, actually, alam mo, okay, number one, meron kaming distributor talaga, di ba? Which is solar, no? Solar, ang nagde-distribute. Pero alam mo, Marinel, hindi kami on the recuperating levels. More of, more of, bulong ka ng bulong sa akin, nakakaramba. Not on the yung to recover the investment. Kasi, this investment is the investment of the culture that you're bringing to the people. Hindi namin hinahabol na ma-recover namin kung magkano yung binayad namin. Kasi bahagi yun ng trabaho ng FDCP na dalhin itong mga pelikula nito. Merong recovery rate, magagamitin naman namin para sa ibang proyekto rin. Okay? So, will it make money or not? If it makes money, well and good. But if not, the fact that we brought it here, okay, and we made it available to people, because otherwise it wouldn't get here, we've already solved our mission. Okay.
So, direct, paano po yun? So, you buy it and then bibigay po sa solar
To distribute. Tapos may porsyento ang solar, may porsyento sa
Paano
FTC.
po solar? Like, hindi po pwedeng yung Daphne,
PBA Studios?
PBA.
Iba naman yung kina Daphne naman yata. Homer, would you like to answer that? Come here, dear. Come here.
I would just like to correct lang siguro. Actually, the distribution processes as procurement, has may angle kasi siya ng procurement. And then Solar is one of those who really accepted our bidding. And then, in terms of the, getting the rights of their film, actually this, I would like to use the word licensing instead of acquisition.
Acquisition, licensing.
Yeah. And then it's a fair fee lang naman, negotiated and fair fee, and then we had agreed term for the specific titles. Ayun. Thank you.
So, nakuha niyo yung Cannes winners and then papahiram niyo sa Q Cinema?
Yes, actually, because it was light, it will be licensed to the FDCP, and then that is when we get to sub-license the films to various festivals and or platforms.
the term is pahiram, hindi sila bibili.
Yun na kailangan gumastos pa.
No, may partnership kami with QC.
Yes. So whenever halimbawa kung may salesman pag ang sales natin sa Q Cinema for that specific film, may share po si FDCP, may share si Q Cinema. That's how we support Q Cinema also. Ayun po.
Yes.
May grant pa kayo sa December Film Fest and bibigay pa?
Titignan pa namin. Dati nagbibigay kami, magkano yung binibigay natin? $500,000, right? For each film for
December on your like
$500,000 for promotions. Summer, 300. For promotions
So
purposes.
hindi pa ngayon napapag-decide yung for discussion?
Hindi pa for discussion. Hindi pa kasi we still have to talk to MMDA about that matter. Okay?
Curious lang ako direct. Ilan na ngayon yung mga nasa FDCP nagpapatakbo? Ilan lahat kayo?
Tao.
In terms of population,
Oo.
dahil mga ilan tayo? 3,000, ilan? We are now 98. Okay, we are 98 people. Okay, and we are hiring. Ang daming fresh grads na hina-hire namin. Okay,
Marami
ngayon.
na tanggal doon.
Well, a lot went to greener pastures. Okay, you know how it is when you work for government, darling. You don't get rich working for government unless you do magic, hindi ba?
So, mas marami, di ba?
147.
May hindi kaya dapat dagdagan ng budget ng FDCP kasi ang dami yung gastos, like you give 1 million para dun sa mga finalists ng Cinemalaya, tapos may mga workshop and a lot of scholarship. Parang sabi ko parang kulang yung
Malaki
budget.
nila.
Sapat naman yung budget namin. Okay, sapat naman ang budget namin. At saka kaya naman in-establish itong opisinang ito para gawin ito. Para tumulong. Kaya nga, di ba, Development Council, Lare. So, as long as yung kinakasta namin pera ay para makatulong sa mga gumagawa ng pelikula in whatever phase or stage, at lalo-lalo na sa mga kabataan, it is being faithful. Ako, nagulat ako, pumasok si Mel Navarro. Nag-ibang kulay ng mundo ko. Okay. Ako naman.
Sorry, direct.
Nawala ka.
Nawala ako sa print ng suot. Okay. No, as long as it it's okay. Kulang ba yung pera? We wish it were a little bit more.
Kasi nag-aabono kayo, di ba?
Hindi, pag nagbiyahe naman kami, kasi sariling ano may binigay sa yung amount ng allowance eh. Kung gumasta ka beyond that, abonado ka. Okay, abonado ka. And may standard naman kasi ang mga gobyerno, okay, tungkol sa how much you're going to get. Kaya yung inaakala nila na, sarap-sarap magbiyahe, hindi abonado ka pa. Yeah.
Speaking of budget, akala namin talaga all the while, yung FDCP ko, konti kape-paranggot lang ang budget. Pero because of an expose, a special report ng isang website, showbiz website, nalaman namin, ang laki-laki pala talaga ng budget.
Alam mo,
Gaano kalaki yung budget nyo?
ay hindi ko naman, in terms of numbers, I really do not know because I don't know the numbers. Okay, I'm in a position which does not have access to numbers at all. Pero, Alan Jones, kung i-compare mo ang budget ng FDCP sa ibang government agency, tutot kami. We're a drop in the bucket compared to the budget of other agencies. We are a minor agency. Okay, yung hindi malaki, hindi matagal ang mga diskusyon sa Senate. Yung budget namin pang grocery ng ibang agency. Ay, ibang ano.
Hindi mo alam, Direk, sino nakakaalam ng budget?
Hindi ko alam yan. At saka, alam ko eh. Munti kong bumagsak sa math ng college, mabigyan mo ako na. Wala akong alam sa numbers. I just know how much we can spend for a given project, but not anything beyond that. And I know kung instance kung may balance, o may pera pa ba tayo para sa ganitong workshop. That's when I find out, may balance pa tayo. Okay, and then ganyan-ganyan. Okay. Any more questions?
Ano yan, iba pag alis mo dyan sa panel?
Do you intend to make Pelikulaya a yearly event?
It will be a yearly event. In the same manner that yung mga celebration ng Philippine Film Month will be a yearly event. The COFIC tuloy, the IFIC and the FIC are also yearly events.
So, possible bang dumating yung time na yung Pelikulaya will be a film festival of brand new films about LGBTQIA?
Hopefully. Pero alam mo, ang una ng problema, yung mga producer, maudyok natin mag-produce ng kahit na anong pelikula sa ngayon. Ano mga, ang sama na loob namin kasi ang daming festivals na humihingi na ng mga submissions.
Well, di ba sa Oscars nga raw, ang best picture dapat merong mga ganyan na character?
No, for the states yun, for the US na kailangan mayroong mga representation and all that. Eh, sa foreign film, ngayon nga, ikaw Alan Jones, alam mo ito, magpapanood kami. Mag-isip ka ko, give me 5 possible na papadala mo sa Oscars.
Ano pinalabas natin this year?
Okay, Tam. Kaya yun. Sana tulungan niyo kami na udyugin uli ang mga producer na gumawa uli ng mga pelikula.
So wala sa balak ng FDCP na mag-produce ng film fest?
Alam mo, tama na. Ang dami-dami ng film fest. We need films. Di ba? Not another film fest. Okay? Kaya nga yung PPP, piniput muna aside eh. Tutulungan na muna namin yung Cinemalaya at Q-Cinema at Cine Kabataan at saka kung ano pa kaysa mag-create pa ng isa. Yung pera dapat tulungan na lang natin yung mga existing festivals. And it's not for anyway. PPP had its value, but it's just that at this point in time, we need to recognize where we will allocate the limited, napakinggan mo, Alan Jones, the limited funds that we have.
Hindi ba kayo lalapit sa ibang government para tumulong?
Oo naman, humihingi kami ng tulong sa Department of Trade and Industry at saka, which is our mother agency, and then the Department of Tourism. We're also trying to work on a project, we can't talk about it yet kasi it's in the baby stage pa, to encourage film tourism. Okay, katulad ng ang model na ginagawa sa Korea, di ba? Bongga sila. Okay, pero alam mo naman, having to work with that, you have to deal with the LGUs. Di ba?
You should ask from help from Department of Education. Laki-laki ng budget, laki-laki ng budget.
Yes, we are asking from the Department of Education. And Department of Education is very willing to help, lalo na sa mga workshops. Lalo sa workshops.
Update po dun sa yung na-pick niyo dun sa recent international film markets na nag-attend? Yung sabi niyo pagod kayo.
Well, it's nakakapagod in the sense of three things. No? You realize the amount of competition you have.
Okay.
Na kasama ko dun si Rica.
Ano po yung mga film markets na?
What are...
Japan and...
No, iba-iba yan eh kasi may yung festival kung pupunta ka dapat alamin mo kung anong purpose ng pagpunta mo. May mga festival tulad ng Venice, okay na, it's just a festival. Okay? Na tulad ngayon sa taong ito, wala namang napili na Philippine film sa Venice, wala namang inas na participation sa Philippines, hindi na kami pupunta.
Yes.
Okay? Same thing with Locarno.
Walang
Okay?
film market doon.
Wala. Okay, wala. Same thing with Locarno. Sa Locarno, wala namang involvement. I mean, parang feeling namin, parang nag-aksaya ka ng pera, pumunta ka doon. Kasi hindi mo na-scope yun dahil napuntahan na yun. Okay, but there are only so many major festivals. For instance, there is, ang pinaka-importante sa Asia is Busan. Okay? Na talagang pupuntahan namin in full force. Na-realize namin, in scope namin, ni Dan, at saka ni Sed, at saka ni Paolo, sa aming samahan, ang super bongga ang Hong Kong Film Mart. Talaga palang bonggang-bongga yun na pambentahan, talagang palengke ng Asian films. Sabi namin, and doon, imagine us there nung pagpunta namin doon, 2 booth lang ng Philippines, GMA lang at Viva. At dahil 2 yung booth mo na hindi kayo full force, dyan nasa likod kayo. Para ka nasa harap, kailangan ang dami nyo. Sabi ko namin, ako next year, gagawa tayo ng isang block ng mga Filipino para yung mga hindi makan-afford na mga producer na magbumili ng FDCP mananagot. Lalagay natin sa ating FDCP. At saka, kinausap ko na ang Viva, in daw sila doon sa isang block. Para may isang area, the Philippine sellers.
Hindi alam niyo ng FDCP before.
Ano yun?
Ba't hindi alam ng FDCP before?
Hindi ko alam. Okay.
Kailan yung Hong Kong Film Fest na yan?
Kailan yun, Dan? March. During March.
So next year, direct bongga tayo.
Ay, super bongga because as early as October siguro kakausapin na namin ng mga producers na ihanda nyo na you can use the FDCP area, kukuha kami ng malaking area, doon kayo makipag-meet. Usually ginagawa din naman namin sa Busan yan eh, na halika dito kayo mag-meeting sa Cannes. Ang Q Cinema, ando doon nagmi-meeting. Okay, maski si Chair Lisa, ando doon din nagmi-meeting, si Manette Diary. Ang dami, mga ando doon kasabay namin. Ang partner pa namin doon, Beautiful Singapore, hindi ba? Oo, 50-50 kami sa mahal-mahal ng booth eh. So, yun, saka mas masarap yung pagkain na dala ng Singapore. Okay, sa dala namin. Okay, so yun, masaya. Yun, so basically we realized that the major festivals are Busan, not even Berlin, because Berlin is European market eh. Cannes, okay, Hong Kong Film Mart, and then titik na namin i-penetrate ang Toronto for festival purposes. Because we want to bring back the Philippine filmmakers into the Toronto Film Festival.
At saka sabi niyo po, for us to make an impact, ano po yung gagawin?
Ay, for us to make an impact, we all need to work together. Na, how shall I put it? It's not enough that we make films, but we make films for the world. Hindi ba? Nowadays, kumita ka ng limpak-limpak dito, pero dito lang. Pero kung kumita, gumawa ka ng isang, all you need is one parasite. Diba? And Bong Joon-ho took a long time to do that. No? But when you get to that point, your audience is the world. Kaya chinichika-chika boom ko lagi yung, yung head ng Korean film. I'm twisting his arm para kunin ang syllabus ng Korean Film Academy and then I'll bring it to my school in CSP to come up with synergistic ng ganun. BF in Performing Arts for Media. So, kailangan kasi ang kitid ng vision natin Ang kitid Di ba? It has to be for the world and it can only come if we all help each other. Kahit anong gawin ng FDCP kung walang tulong ang producer, walang tulong ang media, walang tulong ang education, walang mangyayari. Mamamatay ang ating cinema.
Direct, can I ask something? Kasi
Yeah.
Let's face it, karamihan ng mga ginagala nating international movie or with international quality Okay kung may nabibili sa ilang bansa or nakakapasok sa iba't ibang international film festivals. But when they are shown here or locally, hindi sila kinakita. What's the problem?
Yun ang pinakamasaklang, Aster. Mas marami pang taong banyaga na nakapanood ng mga Love Diaz at Brillante Mendoza kaysa sa mga Pilipino. And yet, yan ang mga kinikilala mga film eh. What is the problem? I guess it's film education. It's not that we are properly... Pero alam mo, Aster, one good thing that happened during the pandemic, tumaas ang antas ng panlasa ng Pilipino. Dahil kasi nakulong sa bahay, nanood ng Netflix. Okay? Nanood ng mga K-drama, kaya ngayon yung mga pichi-pichi na drama, hindi ginaganyan na ng, maski nung yaya ko sa bahay, ginaganyan na nila pag pichi-pichi yung drama. Kasi tumaas ang antas, and that's important. That the audience becomes more demanding. And that's why we are emphasizing film education.
But there are less and less producers na nag-produce talaga ng pelikula.
Totoo.
So that's another problem.
That's another. So how do we give them an incentive? Yan ngayon yung wino-work out ng aming dakilang chairman na magkaroon ng tax exemption, magkaroon ng tax holiday. At saka kinakausap din yung para ibaba ng konti ang presyo ng mga theater tickets, movie tickets. No, kasi alam mo't walang nanonood, Aster, magkano ang minimum wage? 570. Kung ang ticket mo is 300 or almost 400, yung dating nanonood ng Filipino movies cannot afford anymore.
Plus ang dami yung kalaban ngayon, streaming.
Well, yeah, we can't help but, it's an inevitable part of technology, hindi ba? Alam mo, papunta na tayo doon na facilitate lang ng pandemic. Papunta na doon eh. Nung na pandemic, nakulong tayong 3 taon, nanood tayo ng Netflix, ba't ka pa lalabas? Napabilis lang. Magkano babayad mo sa Netflix? 499 a month? Diyos ko, 1.5 tickets lang. Di ba?
Direct, ano-anong TV shows, TV dramas ang pasok sa panlas ng yayay mo? Ngayon, sa mga recent, ano?
Chow and you, siya fan. Okay?
Ano sa Filipino dramas?
Ay,
ba?
would you believe? Nag-YouTube ang bakla sa Dirty Linen. Oo, sabi ko. Pagpanood ko nun sa kasi yung TV doon sa service area, may accessible ang YouTube, no? Sabi ko, oh shit! Sabi ko, saan yun? Anong channel yan? Hindi pa, YouTube po ko yan. Okay. Wow, Dirty Linen ang pinapanood nila. Sabi ko, manood sila ng Voltes 5 dahil sa pamangkin ko yun eh.
Pero, gaano ka-supportive ang national government sa FDCP?
Oh, they are supportive naman. In fairness to them, they are supportive. Ganda nito eh. Pwede ko na bang i-announce yun, Dan, na yung kasi gumuguho na yung kinalalagyan natin. Nung building namin gumuguho na. Okay, dahil pag medyo umulan lang yun, hanggang may waterfalls. So, we're slowly building, baka we might build, restarting to build our own building in Intramuros, which is with the FDCP. And ano yung ka-share natin doon? DOT?
Yes,
and and yun. So, there's a building, malilipat kami sa pinagbarilan ni Rizal. Any more questions? This is exciting.
Alam mo, Direk, ang nakakalungkot lang na sa movie industry natin is, of course, compared to years back na talagang when the local industry was producing about 300 to 500 movies a year, now maswerte na tayo na makapaggawa na tayo ng 30 or even 50 films, which is hindi na natin na-attain. So, paano natin ito may ibabalik o is there still a chance for us to be able to
It's a slow process. Aster, I know, remember during the time ng aking kabataan at kasariwaan, hindi ba bawat buwan may ginagawa kaming pelikula ni Tatay Channing for Rical. Na Rical came up with, my God, in 1 year it did 54 movies. Ngayon maswerte tayong to hit 30. We take it a day at a time, but what is important is to give incentives to producers to produce again. But there's still crazy ones who do it. A good example is our friend Joji Alonso. She still produces yung About Us but Not About Us. She still produces Here Comes the Groom, di ba? You still have crazy ones like Rosel who did ang mga kaibigan ni Mama Susan.
But pre-pandemic pa yun.
Pre-pandemic yun, pero mabuti nabili. Okay, nabili ng Amazon. Kasi ang hirap ngayon, alam mo pag nag-produce ka at saka nilabas mo sa sinihan, parang kang kumuha ng blade at nilaslas mo ang ano mo.
Correct, correct.
Yung dalawang movies na kumita since pandemic, tinutulong ba? Made in Malacanang and Deliver?
Yeah.
Right.
Those are the real blockbusters. Dito kasing recent MMFF, sad to say, lahat na lugi.
Pati yung summer was a big plus.
Lahat na lugi. Lahat, pati yung top grosser na lugi. Di ba ang
Hindi na ba uso ang sinehan, direct?
laki ng kalaban eh. Ang kalaban yung ventilador at saka yung sopa. Di ba? Oras na nanood ka ng sine, o nagagasta ka na ng close to 1,000 eh. Kung nag-subscribe ka sa Netflix, nakapambahay ka, may ventilador, kumakain ka ng cheese curls. At hanggang tubuan ng kulaba yung mata mo na nanood ka. Okay. And how do you beat that? It's a worldwide problem. It's a worldwide problem.
Direct another comment. Ano ko lang, thoughts lang. Kasi ibang-iba ang treatment ng mga Korean movies compared to us. Mumukha tayong
Oo, yun na.
direct. So, hindi ba natin kayang hindi man ma-duplicate at least man lang in that direction?
Aster, it took, asa naalala mo nung mga 1980s, nung kasagsagan ng ABS-CBN, yung mga palibhasa lalaki,
Yes.
mga yan. Ang napapanood lang natin sa Korea is Arirang Channel.
Yes.
Tapos tignan mo ngayon sila kung asan sila. Gobyerno yun eh. It's a short-term and long-term plan that they realize that popular culture is a potent force for soft economy. May planning.
They are being supported.
Alam mo isa pa? The Korean people. Alam mo kung bakit? The Korean people love Korea. Figure it out.
Why don't you ask for an audience with the President through Paul Soriano para may parating din sa kanya yung concern ng movie industry?
I think alam naman niya through Paul, no? I think, and in fairness naman to the President, he is extending and Senator Imee, they are extending as much effort as possible to help the creative economies. Hindi lang naman pelikula nagsa-suffer eh. Nowadays, pati TV. Okay, and all the arts for that matter. Pero in fairness to them, they're doing what they can. But the problem is so big and encompassing and made even worse by the pandemic. We're living in interesting times. We're in a period of flux. Hindi natin alam kung saan pupunta. Kaya medyo nakakatakot. Pero it's interesting to know what we can learn from this experience.
Pero direct, nagkaroon na ba kayo ng pagkakataon na mag-sit down with Direct Paul and mailatag yung mga concerns, mga problems, aspirations?
Unfortunately not. I wish we could. I really wish we could talk to Paul because I know Paul. Okay, but he's a very extremely busy person. Okay, and it's not as easy to call him up and say let's have lunch. Okay, but I hope that Chair Pip can sit down with Paul and then really discuss ways and means to bring back producers to start producing films, even by giving tax holidays. Diba? Asking the President to help facilitate. Ang laki ng taxes pa rin eh.
Direct, can I butt in? Kasi just a few days ago, I had a casual talk with Res Cortez, Noel Fan. He told me, I think he was able to talk with Paul, parang he wanted to talk with the different stakeholders in the industry. And then gusto niya humingi ng audience with the President para ilahatan. Pero but for that, gusto nila kung halimbawa, if DCP, ano yung concerns, ano kailangan, ano whatever. Parang gano'n na.
Oh, sana.
Yeah.
Sana
Yeah,
mga...
actually, I heard that.
But Mobile Fund needs a lot of help.
Yes.
A lot of Mobile Fund and the Film Academy.
Yes.
needs a lot of help.
Marami na palang mga nangyayari hindi natin alam eh. Lalo na yung anti-piracy board. Direct.
For MB?
Diba?
Moving on.
Maraming concerns talaga.
Ang dami. I mean, layers and layers of problem over and above the economic.
Can we move as one?
Yes, we can. It's a matter of just putting people together. Okay? I mean, siguro ang masaklap nito is it's a waiting game. Okay? Waiting who's gonna make the first move. Okay? But then if Rez is organizing something like that, I mean, the FDCP is there, and I'm sure chair people will be more than willing to be part of that because we do know the extent and the depth of the problem.
Pero direct kung meron kang sarili panawagan or personal na panawagan sa mga gusto nyo makasaya, ano po yun ba? Baka maaaring makarating sa
Panawagan. Para naman, para wag nawawala, di ba? No, no, ang request is, I hope, tatlo request ko, hindi lang isa. Number one is sana ma-recognize ang dami ng taong apektado sa industriya ng media. Okay? Hindi lamang tayo kasi nakikita lamang tayo doon sa mga produktong ginagawa natin. Hindi nila naiintindihan yung dami ng tao na umaasa sa ginagawa natin. Ikalawa, sana rin makita yung immediacy and urgency of the problem. Okay? Hindi lamang yung pakaunti ng pakaunti ang mga pelikulang ginagawa, kundi bakit hindi umuusad yung industriya para sumabay sa ating mga kapitbahay at kapitbahay ng mga bansa, kundi sa buong mundo na rin. At ikatlo, at yung pinakamahalaga, yung sana ma-emphasize ang pagka-importante ng pagiging Pilipino. Kasi ang malaking problema kung bakit hindi na tinatangkilik ng Pilipino ang gawang Pilipino ay para yatang ayaw na ng Pilipino sa Pilipino. Ano ang dapat?
That's what's happening.
Oo, ayaw na. Nagdurugo ang puso ko tuwing magtatanong ako mga estudyante kung ilan ang plano nila na how many plan to stay in the Philippines after they graduate and how many plan to leave. And po just sabi ko, I'm wasting my time because if they just all want to leave after graduation, it just goes to show they have no heart for their country. And because we don't have any faith in being Filipino, then we do not patronize what is ours, especially in popular culture. So sana mamula ang importansya ng pagiging Pilipino. Diyos ko, parang akong kumandidato. Pwede na, no? Di ba?
valid naman po yung request.
Okay, thank you.
Dami.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Meron
Press
pa tayo.
representatives?